replace Ayatollah Khamenei. We have no idea. It could be a worst in faction. Is there an argument to make to support Israel in some limited strikes? Sure, I would be open to that argument, but I don't think there's a single American out there, Republican or Democrat, who would agree that the United States should spend money, let alone put our troops in harm's way, to cater to a war that we technically don't have anything to do.
Welcome aboard, folks, because today's broadcast, it's a roller coaster. Picture this: Shermichael Singleton, live on CNN, calmly and methodically taking apart Ana Navarro's latest emotional whirlwind about U.S. foreign policy.
Republican administrations bomb Iran's nuclear facilities,
and not Iran, but we certainly went into Afghanistan, Iraq.
Yeah, but I think that this is important.
Under false pretenses.
There's a reason that it hasn't happened, and there's a reason why everybody who wants him to do this is arguing that he should do it, because all the other presidents haven't done it, except that Donald Trump ran on not doing this kind of thing.
I think that the risk here is you see the toppling of the regime. And none of us know who in the hell would replace Ayatollah Khamenei. We have no idea. It could be a worst in faction. Is there an argument to make to support Israel in some limited strikes? Sure, I would be open to that argument, but I don't think there's a single American out there, Republican or Democrat, who would agree that the United States should spend money, let alone put our troops in harm's way, to cater to a war that we technically don't have anything to do with. So I think the president has to be very judicious in whatever decision he ultimately makes here.
Let me give you a couple seconds, because we got to go. But
I think it's very sobering to realize that, so many of these folks that Trump put in his cabinet in very important positions have no experience. And a lot of Republicans in Congress, in the Senate, who care tremendously about foreign policy and about the military, voted for them out of loyalty to Trump. And now we find ourselves moving, Navy assets to the region, and the Secretary of the Navy is an art collector with zero military experience. We find ourselves on the brink of military action. We find ourselves involved tangentially or directly in a war in the Middle East, and the Secretary of Defense is a guy who hangs out on signal threads and who, has no leadership experience, a Fox News host. You've got Tulsi Gabbard. And so, I think the roosters have come to the home to roost, and it's very concerning. It's very concerning as an American.
The topic: whether the U.S. should get entangled in the brewing tensions between Israel and Iran. High stakes, high drama, and Ana Navarro wasted no time jumping into panic mode.
It was notable because there was a key meeting on this conflict that happened at Camp David, and Tulsi Gabbard wasn't even invited to the meeting. There are just different reasons being given for why that is, maybe a scheduling conflict, maybe something else. But it's both her inexperience and also the fact that there's actually a lot of people in this White House who don't trust her, who think that she has poor judgment, who think that she is sort of not a MAGA conservative in terms of how she deals with foreign policy. And she is the top a figure in the White House who gives the president intelligence from the intelligence community. That's extraordinary.
I think that point is moot now, because we're potentially on the brink of launching missiles into a foreign country. And so regardless of what you think about these individuals' experience, the people who are around them, those career individuals, are going to have to advise the hell out of them to make the best decision to advise the president. My hope is that the president doesn't make this decision. I don't think that this is going to end well for us, because there is the opportunity for Iran to retaliate. And if they do that against the bases we have in the region, we will have no choice but to further this. And there's not a single American who wants to send their sons and daughters to another conflict in the Middle East, trillions of dollars potentially of taxpayers. We can't afford it.
Right.
So I think we
has not been on the same page about this. First of all, Marco Rubio came out and said, well, we had no idea what was going on. And then days later, Trump was like, oh, no, we knew everything that was going on. And now we have Tulsi Gabbard, who is an accused Assad asset, by the way. We shouldn't forget that. And we have, to your point, Pete Hegseth. Do you feel comfortable, even no matter what happens, do you feel comfortable with this administration and all their discord and all their lies overseeing a potential war that would have a massive impact on our geopolitics in that region and in other places as well?
I feel comfortable with hoping, Tiffany, that the administration makes the right decision to not get entangled in the middle.
Ana, in true form, cranked the volume to 11. Her message: keep American troops and dollars far away. But Shermichael wasn't buying it. Instead of matching the theatrics, He coolly exposed the real issue. The disconnect between emotional rhetoric and serious policy. There's something thrilling about watching someone handle chaos with calm precision. If you live for these kinds of sharp, unscripted moments, hit subscribe. Because we're not just watching the show, we're giving you the backstage pass, and here's where it really takes off. The moment the cameras started rolling, it felt like the powder keg was ready to blow. Ana tossed out her usual dramatic punches. But Shermichael, he didn't flinch. No yelling, no panic, just a surgical breakdown of bad arguments.
As like you said, Congress hasn't done anything. They haven't normalized immigration laws and modernized them. And as a result, you have this whole underclass of workers in this country who then get penalized while the employers don't.
Right. We do have an immigration problem, but I think immigration has to uniquely be tied to deficits in our country. So if there are industries and sectors that require additional workers where Americans, we don't have enough people, for example, then you have to pull people obviously from other places. And it's clear to me that the president is recognizing that as it pertains to agriculture and the service industry.
They undid.
The question becomes, and we don't have an answer to this, what's the ultimate end game? What is the end game here? If the current regime topples, who in the world are we advocating to lead Iran?
All right.
We don't have an answer to that question yet.
The fact that you have a director of national intelligence who you're claiming is not irrelevant, I'm claiming is not qualified, is incredibly concerning as we are at the brink of war. And I think, him being surrounded by military experts running the DOD and in high positions who could, at best, play battleship as part of their qualifications is very, very concerning.
All right, we got to there coming up next for us.
Ana Navarro came in hot, lobbing dramatic, over-the-top critiques of U.S. foreign policy like she was auditioning for a high school debate team on Red Bull. According to her, the Trump administration wasn't just misguided. It was some rogue pirate ship sailing blind into international waters, but across from her, Shermichael Singleton, calm as ever. No raised voice. No panic. Just clarity. Like a surgeon with a MIC, he sliced through the noise and redirected the conversation back to something rare on live TV, actual substance. Then comes Tiffany Cross, throwing out questions like glitter grenades, each one carefully crafted to box Shermichael in, hoping to bait him into torching Trump or sparking a viral shouting match. It was classic cable news strategy. Stir it up, create a spectacle, watch the clicks roll in, but Shermichael wasn't playing that game. He parried each attempt with finesse, never defensive, always deliberate. Every question meant to rile him up was flipped back to the real issue. Policy. Call it political judo, and he's a black belt, why didn't he take the bait? Simple, he wasn't there to perform. While others reached for the loudest soundbite, Shermichael focused on outcomes, facts, and leadership. He wasn't trying to win the moment. He was trying to win the argument. And that's increasingly rare in a media environment hooked on outrage. You could feel it, the tension between drama and dialogue. Tiffany threw out phrases like Assad asset, hoping to light a fire. Ana tried sarcasm and sweeping accusations. The goal? Rattle, distract, dominate the screen. While the others traded emotion for airtime, he zeroed in on strategy, on the cost of intervention, the reality of escalation, the ripple effects of American action. He didn't just talk about policy, he explained why it mattered. No yelling, no posturing, just logic. Was he passive? Not even close. Refusing to play into media theatrics doesn't mean avoiding the fight, it means fighting smarter. When Tiffany tried to steer him into questioning Trump's loyalty or sanity, Shermichael didn't flinch. He shifted the frame. Strategy over shock. Context over clickbait, and Ana. She leaned on sarcasm and big, sweeping claims, like tossing grenades without pulling the pin. Her Assad asset talking point lacked facts, lacked follow-through. And that's the issue. It's all noise, no clarity. More importantly, so did the audience. Oh, now I'm asking you. When you watch moments like these, what grabs your attention? The fireworks, or the facts? Do you appreciate someone like Shermichael who cuts through the noise, or are you drawn in by the spectacle? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I really want to hear them. Did Shermichael's cool-headed pushback stand out to you? What moment hit hardest?